lies. Lies, lies, lies. The Lord was calling too much lies behind his storm, throne storm, all these things in the past. It is time to turn over. The Lord gave Numbers chapter 16. And what happened? That even the men of God, they said the men of God, they called themselves. When you ask them, what did the Lord say to you when he called you? We knew God called all the apostles, right? He called all the apostles. But what about you? When did the Lord call you? What was his commission? What did he say to you? They have no answer. They take advantage and opportunity. And they think it's all about money. They never cared for the soul of humanity. The most vital thing to God is your soul, our soul. Being reconciled, then what is the purpose of Christ? Then if everything goes. The Lord called us to be reconciled with us because what you see is a sign of the end of time. All you need to do is to go and read the book of Matthew chapter 24. And then you see the signs are there. Signs of wars and rumors of war. People are beginning to speak publicly and they claim to be in the positions of leadership and power to kill, to reduce the population of the earth to a quarter of what it is today. So that's talking about 2 to 2.5 billion people. How are they going to plan to do that? You see today, and I speak to you today, for you to be aware, my brothers and sisters, the food that you eat, genetically modified, GMOs, what is it for the future? Now, men in our land, they will turn soil so that we will not be infertile, in order to exploit you so that you can buy their fertilizer. That when you plant their seed, they modify it so that it comes and corrupt the soil, what God has made. And they win Nobel Prize. They win an award for such wickedness and evil. And they get approval from our government to be feeding our children and killing them. Open the doors and drones come and killing, destroying families. Those of us that work in the mental health space, you see broken families, people who are broken. These are by the laws and the policies government has made. They allow people and juice up, modify the food. Children, 9 years old, 10 years old, 12 years old, and you see them, they weigh 390 pounds, 400 pounds. The parents keep wondering, what's going on? What is in that food that makes a man to grow breasts like a woman? Has government looked into that to find out what's going on? They have the ideas and the things they have planned. And they're destroying their own children. Their children is addicts. They're struggling because they were never there. They were never a parent. They were emotionally not there for their own children. So they want to destroy your own. Then those that preserve their own children, they want to steal them. They want to take them. I got a number alert while I was on this altar of God. Where did that child go to? And they walk away free, and they make up a report, and they lie and try to deceive people. If you are God, and God is indeed our Father, and He is our Father, will He be silent? When He said, I am going to destroy the land, I am going to cause an earthquake, and the ground will open His mouth, and He will swallow them as they gathered in the capital where they are. I cried out and we prayed, and good enough the Lord for His anger smothered. I want you to be prepared. They give you medicine that will kill you. The government will allow it. There is something me and one of the sisters here have talked about before, especially those of you that don't agree with those things, that we need to start to come together to think about how to protect yourself. If our government cannot protect us, we elect the government. We need to start to think about how to find those who are not wicked and evil, those that we care about us and our children. It is the dream of every man and woman that their children shall be greater than them. Why then they are not as great as their fathers? In a country that is so blessed, abundantly blessed. If I speak, they say, go back to Africa. Why is Africa the way it is? We are not talking about going to anywhere, for the Lord owns all the land. We're talking about where we live and the future of our children. That's the kind of thought God has for man. And therefore, every man shall have such thought about their own children, not to sacrifice them for their power and greed. Because if then the government cannot stand up for us, then God will stand up for us. For God is the power that is greater than any government and any power. And the Lord has shown it. He has the power to do so. So in this one, I'm not going to give you so much sermon on things or things to bother you. That indeed what the Lord did to Korah, Dathan, and Abiram in number system is real. And then when you see here is Sabbatarian come, is going back to the Old Testament. It's not about God's Old Testament, but God is real. God is true. I do this for you to understand the core, the principles, and where our church stands. And maybe you may not have the kind of places and environment where you have been or where you like. I didn't come today really to laugh and joke. I could have told jokes, but the Lord decided to touch you the way He did. He has His own reason. I was just going to come tell you stories. And we laugh and we joke. And maybe plan for a gathering in the future when you will come back. And we got a restaurant down the street. We just go there and sit and eat and drink and marry and be happy. I do that a lot because that's what God is. If God has blessed me, I bless you. If you bless me, I bless somebody else. That there must always be joy. It's one of the fruit of the Spirit. That when we gather. But I would like you to come again. That's why I decided today. Not me that decided, because I wanted to tell a story, but God decided to tell you and speak to you that hopefully you will come back again. So that we begin to form a community. Look, for most of the people here, when it comes to vote, that counts to who rules us. If there's anyone come from us, we contribute the best and the highest number. That it's time for us to begin to come together, not to vote by any block. It is all the work of the devil. Look, trying to divide us.